Hello guys and welcome aboard. Good to see you all here for more Iron Nest. This game will be out tomorrow for everybody on Steam, and I know you've all been waiting for it for a long time to play for yourself. Bring it up here on screen in just a moment. But anyway, just check Steam if you'd like to try, before you buy or add to your wish list, because the Steam Next Fest starts tomorrow, which means there's going to be a ton of games that are going to be available for free to try, and we tried some already, including this game and also Over the Hill and some other driving games, survival games, building games. I know there's a lot of other great releases too that you want me to check out, like Witchspire, and you want to see more of like Romestead and stuff like that. But anyway, let's get kicking off the Steam Next Fest, I guess, with an 800mm artillery simulator by the name of Iron Nest. Now, this game has changed a little bit since the last time we played. There is some changes to the game from the playtest, and usually what happens is the playtest is kind of more broad and shows a little bit more, and then a demo is a little bit more condensed. But we'll see what happens with this team, because it's basically being made, I think, by like 2 people. And so this is an alternative 1920s Spain, and is a very interesting game for sure. So let's go ahead and start from hopefully the beginning. I want to start at the mission 1. Hospital False Flag. Start mission. Oh boy. Read. Measure. Calculate. Load. Rotate. Elevate. Fire. Those are the steps to firing the Iron Nest. Alright, so this is basically what we're in right now. We are here at the port side rear of the gun, and essentially it's like a giant battleship turret on spider legs. Earlier today I released a video for a game by the name of Dust Front, and I think you should definitely check that game out too, as it has a lot to do with, like, it feels like Tiberian Sun, but also like Total Annihilation. And I couldn't help but think of Iron Nest when I was commanding the Dreadnought unit that has like 3 guns on it, but this one having 2 800mm cannons. Very crazy. Anyway, everything here we can interact with. And this game, I really think, needs to have some multiplayer. I mean, it's a very, very fun game, and I hope the developers think about adding that soon. High command to Iron Nest. Iron Nest is operational. Calibration fire is ordered. Plot your firing trajectory to target on the map. Fire HE shell at the target. Iron Nest location is Hotel 355. Target number 1 is at Q442. Glory to Castile. Okay, well, let's take some notes then. Let's see. So our location is here. They're asking us to fire an HE at the target, which is at Quebec 442. All right, before we get started too much, I think we're going to take a little tour around. If you didn't know, by the way, anything that kind of glows yellow, you can click on that, and it's a switch or a lever. And if you remember us playing Wolfpack a lot, this is what this reminds me of too, the like little engine section like this. Oh, damn. Oh, this was not here before. E to interact. We can actually control our movement. Our run and start. Okay. I don't know if we have to do this in the demo, but maybe eventually we get to move ourselves. That'd be cool. Probably best not to mess around with this stuff yet, but it does look like there is an engine space and we get to interact with that. Cool. Very neat. I'm sure they'll ask us to move or something in the future. Or you can move so that way you don't get fired on. They can't triangulate you as easily. We have a master power switch here. We've got our high command communication and then field reports as well. This will be important. This writes from, I think, the top down, and this writes from the bottom up. So basically the newest thing is at the bottom. Okay, here's our CIC, combat information. Information is important in this game, and this is where we'll be dealing with a lot of that. Let's go downstairs, though, before we get started up here with the business center. This is our business center, where we'll be doing all the business. But down here is kind of our personal area a little bit. We've got a the desk that you saw from the beginning of the game, the kind of the main menu. We can make coffee here. I think that's just for fun. I don't know if you have to do that for any reason, but maybe they'll add more stuff to it later. And then there's a little kitchen down here. Crew can make food. There's a shower and a toilet. A little sink there. And then the main menu too. And then of course you can see Spain. These are markers on the map, but I don't know if that's where we actually are. I think that for now this is just missions. Just in order from left to right. And then our cozy little bed. And then I wonder later in the game if there's any way to go out of any of these hatches and go out into the world. I'd be big time surprised if we were able to do that. That'd be cool. Okay, so let's go over things again. So read, measure, calculate, load, rotate, elevate, and then fire. That's what we're going to be doing here for our protocol. Sometimes I mix some of these steps around for efficiency, like elevate and rotate, but it's all good. Oh, we even have a little gas mask. Look at that. And then, of course, the ability to play music. And a picture of the moon. No, I was kidding. It's the back of a pipe. Oh, actually, no. It's a gigantic shell. Okay, so let's get to it then. So command wants us to level a target for test firing at hotel... we're at Hotel 355, and the targeted they basically already told us that Quebec 442. Let's go ahead and zoom in on that. And find Hotel Quebec. There it is, and then 42, which is smack dab in the middle of that targeting thingy right there. Also, there's going to be debris all over. I think if we take hits or take damage, like nuts and bolts will fall all over. So that's interesting. Okay, so we are here. And they are there, and that's what we got to shoot at. Any way to look outside at all? Yeah, there is a little way. If you come over here around the starboard side gun, there's a stairwell. And then if you go up to where the front of the turrets are, you can kind of just clip through there. You can actually see outside. You can stand on like a little... like these little power units here or whatever. And you can look out the window. But there's nothing really to see. Like, you're up on a hill. But what you see outside that window will change based on where you move. Yeah, this game has a lot of potential to build on. What the hell is this? I can't flip that. Oh, it's the high scores. Challenge mode. I don't know if the demo is going to have a challenge mode or high scores, but we'll see. Okay, so let's do as they said. So we've read now, and we've already started to... we've measured. Now we need to calculate. So important thing here is what we see at the bottom, which is the distance, which is 8.88 kilometers. So we want to go ahead and type that into our computer by rotating this wheel. And then this is going to tell us that we would not be able to fire that distance with one powder charge, so we at least need to set it to 2. And then we can calculate the elevation to reach that distance. So that'll be elevation of 53.28. So that's what we're going to do. So that step's complete. Now to load. So they're asking us to... Now this is interesting because it says empty 2. And I think that's because right now they don't let us modify... There's a computer up here that lets you select the ammunition type, which I assume lets it recalculate the weight. Because an illumination round is probably going to weigh much different than an HE round. And that'll matter. But for now, I guess they just... for the tutorial, they just kind of make it easier. So then we need to load the HE. So there's our HE round standard burst load. That's going in. And then, as it says here on our clipboard, 2 charges, EMP, and then there's a 2, which means 2 of these little powder charges. Which are like the size of frickin' like round bales at a farm. Massive. Replayability on this game? Well, I think they're going to have a linear campaign, and then I think they might have like a random campaign, and then there's also going to be challenges too. So there's ways to compete with other people, and then I did see there were other game modes, like, for example, there's a machine up here that will give you a countdown timer where you're going to be shot at by enemy artillery, so you need to maneuver. And those positions on the battlefield are going to be different, but I mean, I don't know how much more dynamic a artillery simulator can be. You are able to eventually go over here and like call in things like air support and other types of ammunition. So, I mean, it gets a little bit more interesting than just do math, pull lever. You have to think about like where you are too and your movement around the world. It's rather interesting, and it makes me wonder like what PVKK will be like. Planetum Verteidigung Kanon Kommandant, that one. And I hope we get other games like this too, where we get giant vehicles to drive with friends. Like, this is what makes... I think Wolfpack is very fun too, because you've got to rely on a team. So if they add multiplayer, that'd be huge too, because if you had somebody doing your calculations, somebody working on like loading the guns, and then somebody else getting ready to rotate and elevate the guns and turret and firing... there's going to be a lot of screaming and a lot of comedy when things are right, and more importantly when they're wrong. So I think it'll be good. Okay, so we loaded the powder. That automatically closed the breach, and so now we're ready to elevate and rotate. So rotation needs to be 85, so we're not too far from that, so I'll rotate just a little bit. And you can actually see the gears turning. Look at that. Crazy. And then we need to elevate to 53. See how close we can get to that. Okay, so we need to rotate to 85.4. Yeah, 85.4. And gun elevation needs to be 53.29. Two eight. 53.28. 85.4. Okay, I think everything's good to go. We do a little checklist here too. Oh, what is this? Oh, you can click on that. Oh. Run over each step of the arming the iron nest and switch for confirmation. Tips are at the bottom. Oh. So you don't have to do this. This is optional, but it does let you kind of like audit yourself to see if you did everything. Address common mistakes at this stage. Address common mistakes. What the hell? Address common mistakes. Maybe if you make a mistake, the game will tell you. I don't know. Let her rip, brother. Okay, so the shell is heading towards a enemy target. We're gonna splash some bad guys. Here we go. Wait, what? Oh, what? That's a blue on blue situation. What the hell, Command? Calibration confirmed. Iron Nest is combat ready. Stand by for operation. What the hell? Oh, they're showing us that we can go downstairs and go to bed. Quarters are located below. Retire to your bunk and stand down for the night. Glory to Castile. What the hell? We killed enemies. That's good. Indicated by that diamond. It was either infantry or recon. Some sort of enemy. There was a friendly civilian unit. What the hell? Command. How could they do this? Oh. Got a little excited. Alright, well, I guess we'll retire for the evening. By the way, in order to avoid situations like that too, this is what you'd probably want to use. If you knew what was there, target-wise, with these two being super close next to each other, yeah, you'd know that that's probably not... HE's probably not going to cut it here. What you'd want to do is fire AP, because the blast will still kill, and then fire maybe at... if the enemy's at 4-2, you probably want to fire at 4-1, and then the blast radius will wipe them out. Or not. I mean, you do you. If you want to kill friendlies, you know. Go ahead. Alright, well, let's go to bed. We better obey orders. Monstrous strike on Mercy Ward. Official report, anti-monarchists detonated a bomb in the hospital's entry courtyard, murdering 163 and maiming over 300 citizens. That wasn't a bomb. That was a HE, like, artillery shell. A brutal atrocity meant to shatter the very heart of Castile. The attack occurred during visiting hours, which has been described by the king as, quote, particularly unsporting. That was December 19th, 1927, the Castile Herald. Wow. All right, well, let's move on to mission 2 then. Ceremony and HCHE. Also, it looks like there's a bunch of medals there. That must be a thing for the future, though. Maybe each mission will be judged somehow by time and other things like that. I don't think you can get medals, though, at the moment in the demo. I heard the typewriter. Dobrano. Good morning. Buenos dias. Alright, let's see what we got to do this morning. High Command Iron Nest. A hostile element has been identified within the city. Triangulate the target position and destroy it. HE only. Check adjacent typewriter for field reports. Iron Nest is situated at Hotel 355. Observation asset Spotter 1 at Mike 870. Spotter 2 at Lima 386. Glory to Castile. Alright. Alright, we'll take those notes then. Initial field intelligence, spotter 1 and 2 bearings. Okay. Alright, let's triangulate. Oh, there's more mess on the damn board. We have to have somebody come out and look at that. Okay, so HE. Right, so let's figure out where everybody is. So we're here, still at Hotel 355, and we know that a friendly spotter, which we'll mark with, oh, looks like they have little guys with binoculars. Or you can mark these with flags, whatever you want to do. You do you. But we'll put spotter 1 on blue. I actually never noticed those guys before. Maybe they added them recently. Anyway, spotter 1 is at Mike 870. And spotter 2 is at Lima 3. Um, eight six. And I'm reminded of another game that's great called Radio Commander. I think there was Radio Commander Vietnam. I think that may have been the first one. And then they made a World War II one, I think. And then I think they made one like the first one was like the European theater. Then I think there was a Pacific theater, and now I think they're doing Vietnam again. There's been a lot of games from that one, Radio Commander, because it's not too hard to make, but it's actually a very interesting game. And that was the first time I kind of learned about, you know, artillery and grid squares and things like that. I'm no expert, but it's really fun actually. It's very neat. Okay, so we got to figure out where the enemy is. So let's figure these out. Let's try our yellow pen. So we know that the enemy is 83 degrees from spotter 1. Getting a little worried that we're seeing a residential area there again, command. And then the other one is 56 degrees from spotter 2. Again, very worried. Okay, so that means that likely the enemy is at crossroads here. Bone, 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 bone. At 6-9. Nice. And again, we don't have to be accurate because we could literally level like a 3x3 grid square just for the crater, and then like another like 2. It's like an area. It's like an area like a quarter of this square. It's crazy. So I think the enemies are there. So now let's get ready to fire. So we're at 5-5 distance and bearing. Okay, so now we have our information. So now the new distance is 13.23. We'll need at least 3 powder to go that distance. Calculate. Alright, so 52.92. Yeah, 69. Nice, nice. Okay, and then the bearing is 6.6. Damn, too bad we didn't get a double. Anyway, HE as they said. Three powder charges. We need to turn to 66 degrees. And it needs to be 66 on the nose. And the gun's already returning to its previous firing position. Oh, gotta go up. So that's returning to 53, which is pretty close actually to where we need to be at 52.92. $5292. All right, I think that does it. Let's see. We read, we measured, calculated, loaded. Rotation and elevation are complete. And it should level an area. That's a big O. That's going to be a big crater. You may fire when ready. Dude, we need a Death Star simulator. That'd be cool as hell. What would be fun about that is if it were like, kind of had some wacky changing procedures, like a little bit like Papers, Please. You know, honestly, this game and PVKK and a few other games do feel like Papers, Please. Papers, Please is a completely different game, like where you're checking, you know, papers, but the whole, like, you know, should you do what you're being told to do is something different, you know what I mean? Pretty close, only counts with hand grenades and artillery. Well, when you're dealing with 800 millimeters, yeah, close enough, I guess. Or maybe be further away. Nerdapalooza. Thank you very much for the 5 bomb. Shells away. Well, she seems to be going the right way. Have I checked the War Alert demo? I have not. Let me pause that. Hold on, I paused the artillery shell in the air just to check out War Alert. Let me check. Somehow I have powers to do that. War Alert demo. Oh, interesting. I think... No, I did not, but I think this was on my list. Is this like... Wait, is this like War Thunder? Or what the hell? I don't know. Let me... I'll just download it now and check it out later. Thank you for the reminder. Alright, anyway. We return to our previously scheduled artillery strike. Boom. Company heroes type? Okay. I'll give it a peek. Oh, 2 more enemy targets. Right there. Let's see what... Oh, High Command's giving us a red light. What happened? Destroyed. Additional requisition granted. Oh, I feel like that should be flashing green then. We did what we were supposed to. Targets destroyed. Reconnaissance photos transmitted. 2 additional hostile elements have been identified in the recon plane. Recon photos. Destroy both before proceeding. Alright. Well, nothing's changed, so recalibrate and prepare to fire. So the reconnaissance photos revealed that we just basically need to fire there now. So let's prepare again to fire. Do that while we're also calculating. Distance is 1291. 51.64. Rotation 6-7. He said it. Six, 7, 7. And we can't elevate until we load. That's going to be a triple charge. Cool. And so I dry load. The funniest number, I know. Children today will never understand Harlem Shake. We still don't understand it. Alright, guns elevation. $25 degrees. 30. 40 degrees. 51.64. Boom. 51.64. All right, I think we are good to go. What's the hell's this? Oh, elevation errors. Oh. Well, you have to account for that. Should be good to go. You don't have to do this, but it just sounds cool. No cup holder. Brother, I think if we had a cup and a cup holder, just after we shoot this shell off, it's about to fly out. Sometimes in life, you just got to shoot your shot. Boom. Targets destroyed. Phase 1 complete. A second fire mission is now authorized. High Command orders STAR bursts over the Royal Palace. Ordnance Star Shell only. This is a non-combat operation. Procedure. Fire in the vicinity of the coordinates below. A ground observer will mark corrections directly on impact recon photos. Adjust and repeat fire until High Command confirms satisfactory burst position. Yellow numbers distance from the impact point to target. Yellow arrows direction from the impact point to target. Approximate illumination coordinates bearing 269. Nice. From spotter 1, distance 420. Nice. From spotter 1, Glory to Castile. They got to be memeing. Operation Meme and Scheme is a go. All right. Well, let's get that intel then. What's up, Don One? Welcome back. Okay, let's close that out. Okay, so boom, boom. Wait, these we can close out too. Give me those. Okay. Oh, so we can load the star shell if we have one. We do. STAR illumination high loom flare CT parachute drop. Load. Good. All right, now let's calculate. So, right. So let's do our little calculation. Have you tested to see if you send live shells into the palace, what would happen? I've not tested that. Maybe one day. This is spotter 2, so it's going to be a distance of 420, bruh. No, wait. Wait, both of these are spotter 1? For real? Oh, okay. Never mind. This will make it easier then. So 269. And then distance is 420, brah. We got to go a lot further than that, though, I know, but we'll play along. Okay. Okay, so that gives us the intel we need. So it's now 4.55 kilometer. That's going to be down to 1. Guarantee that. And then it's going to be a 1 powder. I'm 1 powder man. Rotation 12-5. Yeah, I guess we can go fast. And then 10 to 12. 12.5. Yep. 54. Point 60. All right, spotter's indicating 4.36 kilometers east of that, west of that. So it's 5.60. Three point 60. Two powder. What's up, Chef Mama? Bom, 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 bom. 33. No, bearing is 322.
Have you heard of a game called Mecha Chameleon? Top game to play with friends.
Mecha Chameleon. I may have heard of that one. What is that about? That sounds kind of familiar. Is that a mech game? It sounds like it would be. Okay, 322. We're going to rotate 322.7. Oh, that went way up there. 33, maybe. Standing by. Okay, so 33.60. Okay. Oh, so close. We just got to go a little bit further from there. One more shot. So that's the target there. Okay, one last shot. Distance 5.8. Oh, you know what? I got a chat. There's another great game kind of like this coming out too. That's 2D, and you're on a World War II sub, and I think it has to do with the Enigma machine and such. And I think it's called Echo, like Silent Echo or something like that. We got to check that game out. I don't know if there's a demo for that one, but does anyone know what I'm talking about? It's like a 2D, you know, side shot of a submarine, kind of pixelated, and it has to do with decoding a lot of messages and stuff too. It's very cool. Like you're encrypting and decoding messages, and then like it's a little bit like this with the vibe, you know. Does anyone remember that one? Okay, 2 powder. And rotate to 324. False echo. Uh, 3245. Okay, distance good. 3480. False echo. Let me see if it's called false echo. Standby. Yes, false echo is correct. It is called false echo. No demo for it yet, but check this out. Let's take a little field trip, gang. Let's all hop in the wagon here. What the hell, why is it so small? There. Check this out. Oh damn, it's got a Papers, Please vibe too. Oh damn, I forgot about that. Alright, so a little Papers, Please and a little this game going on. Oh yeah, look at that. That is Papers, Please as hell. I had no idea. Oh, this looks outstanding, dude. Whoa. I like read about it, but I have not seen this trailer. Wow. Oh, ice on the sub? Wow. Trader on board. Wow. Oh, damn. It is absolutely Papers, Please. Cleaning up blood. Oh, dude. Too bad there's not going to be a demo. That is amazing. Add that to your wish list. That looks so damn cool. That's going to be a banger. That is 110% yes, we're playing that. Okay, anyway, back to shooting artillery. Straight out of 1995, yeah. That is way more Papers, Please than I was expecting. It's almost like if he made a sequel. No, I couldn't be the same guy, could it? What's his name? Lucas Pope, who made he made Papers, Please, and then I think he went on to make a game called Obra Dinn, which something about a merchant ship. I don't remember. Anyway, let's do a cross check and all call. Yeah. Oh crap! I forgot to. We're fine. It's fine. Dave the Submariner, right, yeah. Hey, Dave the Diver's got his new DLC on the 18th. I can't wait to get back into Dave the Diver. I cannot wait. Dave the Diver is such a banger. Alright, looks like we were spot on. I think Command is happy. Starburst position confirmed satisfactory. Fire mission complete. Stand down until further orders. Glory to Castile. Alright. Time to stand down. Oh, you can turn off your little light and go to bed. A night of celebration marred by atrocity. On an evening set aside to honor the general's continued pursuit of peace, the anti-monarchists remind us all that no such pursuit concerns them. Their only correspondence arrives written in the blood of innocence. In other news, how many times must we turn the other cheek? For 3 years, the general has extended every olive branch available to him, and for 3 years, those branches have been returned to us burning. Oh, wow. His Majesty the King honored the general's dedication to peace with the medal. The anti-monarchists replied with artillery fire upon a civilian quarter. Oh, they're writing news about the other thing that we did, which was firing on the, I think the enemy's position, but they said civilian quarter. So they don't have to specify whose civilian quarter. One wonders when the general's patience will find its limit. The children are our future. Volunteer them. Report panic immediately. For sale earplugs. Cheaters are temporary. This is fine. All these other things at the bottom. General affairs commit to peace. Yeah, more news stuff. I think it'll be more important when we play the full game. All right, let's go on to our next mission. Insurrections and requisitions. What the hell? Oh my god, the machine it's moving. It's alive. Oh, the door is closed. I wanted to see outside. It's repositioning. Oh, and now the requisition credits are open. Okay. And now I think everything's unlocked. So now we have the port gun and the starboard gun. And we've also got the requisition center. And I think one more thing. Oh, yeah, this up here. We can now designate what type of ammo we're using. Jesus. All right. High command to Iron Nest. The city is to be cleared of hostile elements. Destroy 5 hostile infantry units within designated urban sector. Note requisition consoles authorized for ammunition and powder charge procurement at your discretion. Repositioning complete. Iron Nest is at India 653. Observation assets are spotter at 1, 2, and 3. Check adjacent typewriter for field reports. Repositioning to Iron Nest. 3 kilometers outside of Ciudad Real. Oh, here's our infantry positions. We'll deal with the first 3. Initial field intelligence, Infantry 1, Infantry 2, Infantry 3. Alright. Positions based on the spotters. And then Infantry 4 and 5, intelligence incomplete, believed active in friendly urban sectors. Okay, so we're going to have to find them later. Okay, Infantry 1, Infantry 2, Infantry 3. We'll get started there. Alright, spotter 1 is at Foxtrot 1097. Foxtrot 1097. Spotter 2 at Juliet 54. You know, actually, now that I'm doing this, I remember there's while I was away, a Battleship game came out too. Battleship Command or something like that. Microprose dropping like another. It's like Microprose every 20 minutes is releasing like a Cold War or World War II like bomber, fleet, battleship, aircraft carrier game. And I think every 60 seconds in Africa, a new Warhammer game releases. I swear, like every minute there's like a new Warhammer game. I'm not wrong. It's crazy. Warhammer is like hammering, you know? All right, 5-4. Spotter 3, Charlie 2, 5-8. All right, cool. Even on the weekends, yep. Especially the weekends. It's because Microprose is just porting old games to work on new machines. I think some of the games I've seen are completely new. Like what was that one game called? I played it a while ago when it was beta and released. I don't know. They've got a lot of fleet games that they're remaking, remastering, or new, yeah. All right, let's see. So, let's begin. Okay, bearing 258 from spotter 1. Wait, is this in the right place? No, we need to move our thing. Iron Nest is at India 6. Five, 3. There we go. Okay, and then spotter 1, 258. Wait, what the hell's this? Oh, enemy neighborhoods and stuff. Okay, where's my marker of my first scout? Spotter 1 is at Foxtrot. No wonder I couldn't find it. It was all the way at the top. 258. Spotter 2 bearing 288. Alright, possible enemy target at 9-9. Alright, infantry 2, spotter 2, bearing 278. Spotter 3, bearing 256. Bearing 356. Is this kind of like Battleship? Yeah, a little bit. How's the game? Is it complicated? Yes, and then no. This is a game that if you're not familiar with what you're doing, like I am even now, it's just a game with repetition. You'll learn what you're doing and what you need to do, and the tools at your disposal to get it done. They need a coast artillery simulator. Ooh, that would be interesting if we actually got... Okay, that could be something in this game as well. It would be interesting if they repositioned us to the coast and then we had to fire at like a battleship or something coming in. Because, like, right here, there's a river. There's nothing stopping us from, you know, going to the Spanish coast. Dealing with that. Okay, final target for now is 4 kilometers from spotter 1. So we use our compass now. So we know that they're 4.9. And then it is 6.38 from spotter 3. Meaning that the target is likely here. I'll mark it at 1-1. It's where the lines cross. I suspect it's there anyway. Makes sense. Okay, so we'll start with those 3 initial targets and we'll load both guns. So let's go ahead and get HE loaded up. While we're waiting. Oh yeah, we can requisition those. Or we could do AP. AP would be more precise. So I'm going to go ahead and do AP. So I'll buy 2 for the left gun. And 1 for the right. For now. Alright, let's toss those in. AP hardcore penetration for armored targets. Yeah, well. We'll use it for this. Can we do a recon and see where the civilian locations are? Let's see. No, we don't have access to recon at the moment. We could fire a star round, but also if you fire in the direction and the shell hits, even if you miss, it'll kind of give you aerial reconnaissance photos. They like to run recon after you hit something and tell you whether or not you hit, and then reveal the area around it. Okay, so we're gonna fire, and look at this, by the way. We can fire T-gas, which might be tear gas. P-gas, which might be, what was it, phosphane? And then there's SMK, which is smoke, star, high explosive, HCHE, and then AP rounds too. So we're going to calculate for AP. Alright, let's start figuring out our numbers then. Target 1. I'll hit 2 and 3 first because they're closer together. Alright, so we'll fire port side gun first. And that's going to be 6, 7. He said it. 4. 6, 7, 4 at 2. And 6, 9, 8 at 2. 2 charges. AP, and 2 powders each. let's see. Bearing is 298. Elevation is about 40. Rotation 293 and 288. We'll do 288 first. .8. 40.44. And the other one's at 41.88. Port side gun first. .293.5. .41.88. Let's load another shell. Target 2 destroyed. And we already know where target 1. We know the actual position of target 1. Oh, we see one of the two of the hidden targets. We got one down there and one up here. So we could do a boom boom again. We could do a double shot. So hold on, we're gonna do an espresso here real quick. I'm gonna buy 3 more rounds. Or wait, what do we have? We got 1 ready to go here, so that'll be 1, 2, and then 3. So I'll buy 1 for port and another for starboard gun. Oh, there's our recon. We could do that too. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Forward observers report a probable enemy ammunition cache across the river. Priority target designated. Oh, wait. We're going to change targets real quick. Confirm position, then neutralize with AP ordnance. Oh. Wait a minute. Okay, change of story here real quick. This is a priority mission. So let's do as command says. Conduct recon flight over grid P4. Request scout plane fly over location. Okay. Conduct recon flight over grid P4. Confirm position, then neutralize with AP. Recon plane requisition card has been issued. Present card at requisition console to authorize overflight. No additional information there. So they want a flight over Papa 4. The bearing thing I never really understood. Not yet, anyway. I'm assuming that's the direction we want the plane coming in from, but since they don't specify, let's just send her and see what happens. Oh wait, we get it immediately, okay. So they take pictures across multiple grid squares, okay. Well, this will be easy. Okay, new target, armor piercing, I think that's already loaded. 6.96 kilometers. AP. Two powders. Bearing 103. Now we go this way, I suppose. It's going to take a minute. That's close. All right, 106.3. Elevation 41.76. Enemy target destroyed. Cache destroyed. Well executed. 3 hostile infantry units remain in urban sector. Complete their destruction in detail. I think I'll hit next to them. I don't want to ruin the civilian thing. Oh, we'll hit there then. Okay. Did I buy any artillery gun shells? No. Okay, so we'll do 2 on the port side. And then one for the starboard side. The plane starts on P4 and then flies to the bearing you selected. Oh, really? Okay. Oh. So it starts taking its photos at that sector and then continues taking photos in that direction. Okay. Okay. Yeah, PvP in this game, that'd be really cool. You'd have to be a well-oiled machine. Okay, so 7.33. $8.37. And 592. Dobre. Okay, start with the shells then. Okay, bearing 1 is 2985. Bearing 1 could be 43. Bearing 2 is 50. Oh. Got a little wild there. This is 298.5. And then it's 43.98. And the second gun is 5022. Okay. All right, so we're ready for 1. And we have to turn to 297.3. Beautiful. We missed the hospital. Excellent. All right, that's good. And now the final target. It's already been pre-calculated, so that's what, 2 powder? Thanks, Max. Thanks for watching. Okay, so this one is 27. Nope, other way. 2761. And that's bearing 35. Rather... Our elevation, 35.52. Oh, other way. All right, 35.52, and last check, turret rotation, 276.1. Okay, good to go. And hopefully we hit right here. Beautiful. Sector cleared. Local garrison will consolidate from this point. Stand down until further orders. Okay. Look at that, boys. Nice. That could have been bad. We're close to a hospital there, kind of close. There as well. What is that group with the flashlight? I don't know. HE that area? I mean, we definitely could. Well, actually I can't because I can't buy those shells, but we could HE it. Feels good, man. Feels good. All right, I think the next one we get fired at, so we'll see. Let's keep going. Where's the bed there? Nap time. The Royal City reclaimed. The Royal City is restored to the crown this morning as the general drives the anti-monarchist occupation from its streets. The city, His Majesty the King, was pleased to learn is almost majority intact. Yeah, almost. Oh boy. Oh, is that something about a plane? Oh, auto gyros. Oh. Castile calls. Will you answer? Just let it go to voicemail. Artillery introduction. Introduction? I mean, okay. These are my things from before. Okay. I think this is where we get fired at in return. Dobre rano. This is the demo version. This should be available tomorrow for everybody. So everything you're seeing here, I think, will be part of the Steam Next Fest demo. Operation has entered its active phase. Restore the master power... Oh, this is different. Restore the master power switch to on before proceeding. Enemy forces have deployed artillery across the river in response to recent activity. This was anticipated. Prioritize elimination of all identified artillery assets. Destroy what remains in detail. Be prepared. Counter battery timer will commence after the first shell lands. Iron Nest is currently at India 653, spotter 123, Gloria to Castile. Be prepared. Counter battery timer will commence once you fire when your first shell lands. Okay. All right. So once we fire, yeah, that's where we got to start doing ones and twos. Like we gotta set these up and go bop 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 as quickly as possible. So they have what, 3 artillery guns? Yep. Okay, that shouldn't be too hard. All right, fire up the master switch. Welcome. You've got mail. What the hell? Okay, so let's get it done then. Shall we? Iron Nest location, spotter 123. Artillery 1, 2, 3. Pretty much all we need there. Okay, so we're at India 6, 5, 3. I don't think we moved. Okay. Spotter 1 in November 10. Is the floor hatch and bed new? No, but the ability to use the bed is new. They've kind of set this up to be more linear now for the demo, but in the playtest it was a little more free for the challenge mode and stuff, so... we'll see where this game goes, though. They got my full support, though. It's really neat. I was actually kind of surprised to see this be like this when I've been watching PVKK for so long. But PVKK is taking longer because they're doing, like... I think they're doing actual, like, full motion video. Like, they're getting actors to, like, act in front of a camera, and then they're kind of, like, digitizing things, I think. I love when they do that. Any game that does that, I love that. Okay, Spotter 1, November 10... 01. Spotter 2. Juliet 677. Wait, 77? Yeah. And then Lima 132. Okay. All right, artillery 1. Bearing 132 from spotter 1. So 132 would be about there. Oh, way over here. Oh. One, 3, 2. And bearing 90. $91. Okay, so target number 1. Okay, artillery 2, bearing 150 from artillery from spotter 1. Spotter 3. $51. Scary lighting now. Oh yeah, with the red, yeah. And then, oh, we're going to have to do compass again. Spotter 3. It'd be 5.89. And 4.9 from spotter 1. Yeah. I'm assuming it's there because they said it was on the other side of the river. So if it were here, it would literally be next to us, which I don't think... I don't know if I trust our intelligence, but... yeah. Okay, so supposedly that's our artillery targets. Okay, so let's target them in order. Actually, what we could do... these two are rather close, so we could hit 3, 2, and then 1. We could do it in reverse. We could do Cowboy Bebop. 3, 2, 1, let's jam. Okay, so let's do... actually, we should do 2, 3... let's do 2, 3, 1. Okay. And I think we could fire HE just to make sure we're close. There could always be civilian targets, but the command specify. I think we're at our discretion here. Wait, we can't. Oh, there we can. We can. Can we ride the shell to the destination? You thinking about how I learned to stop worrying and love the bomb? Dr. Strangelove? Okay. Boy. My better judgment says AP, but I bet chat, yes, I'm blaming you, wants HE. So let's do 2 in the port. And 1 on the starboard side. Yeah, we have reconnaissance available, yeah. But it's fine, it's fine. We'll send her. We'll just send her. Okay, how do we look at that machine? I guess we can't. It's part of this one. Okay, so I don't understand what bearing to target and I don't know what this is all for here. There must be... This has got to be for late game stuff. Like you're going to have to call your shots or something like that. Like you can shoot it. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I think it's for your calc printout so you can... Oh, you might be right. Let's see if that... You're probably right, yeah. I didn't even think about that. But that you'd think that that would only be... That would be more useful in multiplayer, you know? Like, especially if somebody was doing the calculations for you and handing it back, and then you could keep them separate. But I feel like if I did them myself, I'd just recognize them by the numbers. But I think you're right. So enemy artillery would be the diamond with the little red dot. So let's give that a try. So So that should be enemy artillery. So bearing to target would be 99.9. At 759. Yeah, that could be for challenge mode, right? Because this will teach you. Yeah, this will tell you basically the order in which you need to do things. So it'll be like shot 1 is star, shot 2 is jello shots, then shot 3 is a little blurry, and then next thing you know, you're drinking beer with a bunch of hamsters in a back alley, but turned out to be a good night after all. And you really had some bonding, you know? Anyway, oh, yep. Cool. Oh, that even... Oh, so that way you don't have to look down here. You would just look at the card. Okay. Yeah. Neat. Okay. So then we'll do... so that's shot 1. Then shot 2 is 9-5. 951. HE artillery at 665. Six 2951. Okay. Yep. Okay. All right. I think that's right. And then finally 87. Bearing is 87. And this is kind of an extra step. I don't think you really... I mean, yeah. You don't have to do, but you get little brownie points for it, you know? 836. Okay, 836. HE 87.7. Okay. Well, isn't that cute? Love that. Danny, thank you very much for the sub. Thanks for watching, everybody. Thanks for subbing. Hope you're all enjoying your Sunday evening, but that's okay. Tomorrow's the next fest, and one day closer to Grand Theft Auto 6, which is already dead. I'm already looking forward to Grand Theft Auto 7 coming soon. Okay. We've already calculated all of our stuff, so we just got to hit them in order. So that's going to be 2 powder charges. All right, bearing is 99.9. We'll just go around this way. We're preparing the Death Star. Okay, 99.9. Because we don't want to give 100%. It's a Sunday, so okay. So this will be 4554. And then the other one's 39.90. So then we'll turn to 95. Can you preset auto rotate and align in the main console like program firing solutions that can move as you load? I don't think so. I would save a lot of time though if it started to rotate after the first shot. Oh, should probably close that. That'll help. Okay, so artillery 1. So then the countdown timer is going to start counting. We'll only have like, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes before they start to do their thing. They got scared because Godzilla Destroy All Monsters is releasing in November. Yeah, and there's a Barbie game coming out too. Could you imagine if GTA trolls everybody and just like, hey, you know what, we've delayed it again to February. And then November, like there's just literally nothing that comes out. And everyone's just staring at this. Of course, there'll be a million games that come out regardless, but you know what I mean. Okay, let's get focused here for the last couple of shots. 45, 5-4, 39.90. Then the rotation will have to be 95.1. And then 87 after that. So 95.1 is where we're going next. No, other way. Gun's still opening. 300 seconds. Second shell's on the way. I'll do that last. $87.7. They're getting ready to fire back at us, but we've already destroyed 2 of the guns. Wait, what the hell? What the hell's that? Oh, enemy infantry. Counter battery assets destroyed. 4 hostile units remain across the river. Consolidate the sector, destroy remaining elements, and stand by. Okay, well, we know where one of them is. Okay. So there's no threat of being shot at anymore. That's good. I think this is a good opportunity for a star shell at some point too. Maybe here and here. Or we could do aerial recon, but star shells are going to be way cheaper. Let's Let's go ahead and get ready to fire that one. Yeah, I think labeling the artillery is good when you got to do quick succession fire like that in order to not die. That's when you should worry about it. For now, like, I think we'll just say, you know, screw it. Is there a way to zero that out? I think we reset that to 0. Maybe it won't mark it. And we'll fire HE. Okay, distance is 7.26. At 2. And we'll ignore the 0-0. It's just a little face, a little pan. That's going to be the enemy. That right there is going to be the enemy's face when our shell's coming in. With the little sweat drip. the degrees circle is just another sweat drip. Oh boy. Okay, 43.56. We got that all. Okay, 2. Oh, wait. Are we already good to go? Wait, what the hell? Is that powder in there? No. I just need to buy another shell, but it was acting as if we had already loaded a shell. Alright, we'll go HE again, port side. Bearing 91. 0.3. Elevation 43. Are there any games I'm especially excited for the next fest? Like I usually say, I'm hoping for something to come out of nowhere and blindside me and get me just like super pumped. And I gotta say, I think the Steam Next Fest starts about a week before the Steam Next Fest, because developers, just like with GTA, how they're trying to release games before GTA comes out, devs are also trying to release their demos before the big demo event. And I really enjoyed that game Over the Hill with Nicholas that we played the other day. But chat's there's a bunch of games on my wish list that I've had an eye on, and I like it when chat comes in and they're like, dude, you gonna play this game? It's like, I don't know. And then I go and look, and it's in my wish list, and then finally there's a playtest or a demo, and I'm like, oh hell yeah, we're gonna play this. Chat already blindsided me once with the there's a Star Trek game out demo wise called Star Trek I think it's Outpost Unknown. We just played it. And it was kind of neat to play like a Star Trek Outpost game where you're actually building like a base and stuff. So, you know, hopefully we get more out of nowheres like that. I like that. Okay, so let's see. 43.56, good. 91.3, good. And then we just need to pull. Let's go to the polls. Alright, so that's going to be smack dab in the middle. I guess we get ready to fire some illumination rounds, or do the plane, but I think I'm just going to star round it. I wonder where they could be. Let's do one there. And we'll do this one rapid fire if we can. And we'll do one there. Okay, star rounds it is. Star rounds on me, boys. And we may as well buy more HE, huh? Alright, prepare to fire the star rounds. They're the star of the show. I can imagine these are just going to be probably 2s. Okay, 7.22. And I'm just going to not bother with any of that. And 72. Oh, at 9. 1-3. Okay. We'll try to do a quick succession fire, but it doesn't really matter too much. .72 degrees. Uh, 72 on the dot. Okay, that's a 43.32. And that's a 54. $78. $43. Okay, and then we just turn to 72 when we're done. Wait a minute. Oh, I turned to 72 because it was closer. That would be the right gun firing first then, I think. Uh-oh. Well, honestly, it doesn't really matter too much because I'm not trying to hit a target. I'm just trying to recon an area. All right, 170, 117 next. Oh, good. There it is. Okay, we found one target. Ooh, nice. Oh, man. We were really close to that other one. And we can do HEs again. Did I get HEs for both? Sure did. Okay, so we got those two locked in. Okay. So target 1 is 937 at 2. And the other one's 120, no. 6. That is the bearing, though. So 674. Okay. And that's probably going to be 2 powders each. Yeah, 2 powders each. Alright, bearing is... We'll start with 81 for the left gun. Does it set the powder count or do you? Well, a little of both. When you do the math here, if the distance is far enough, these lights will turn red. So if we wanted to fire this about double, let's say we wanted to fire 12 kilometers away. Then it'll tell you, don't use 1, don't use 2, use 3. And actually, the other one should go red too, because I would imagine if you used 6 powdered charges, you'd go way over the target. So you basically just do the minimum right before red. So then if you want to do like 15 kilometers, or whichever one turns red, yeah. So at 15 kilometers, then you use 4 powder charges. And then when you do that, when you print this thing out, it'll tell you you're loaded with HE, and then to put 2. That number is kind of hard to see, but that 2 there is 2 powder charges. And I don't know if it'll like draw a little image for each of the different powder charges, or if that's just kind of showing you, hey, this is the shell and this would be the powders. So maybe this could say 6 and then showing 2, I don't know. But anyway, when you print the card out, it'll give you all that information. So this really is like, it's essentially a calculator and a giant printer at the same time. If you do more powder, it just gives you a lower angle. Oh. Yeah, maybe I wonder how they would do that in a gameplay element. Like if there's going to be a target that you have to hit more like a howitzer or something like that. Like maybe the enemy would have a super mega ultra armored base somewhere and you have to hit something more like a howitzer versus like something very far that you need to hit a lower angle like an actual ship. Gameplay wise, I wonder why they what they would do, like why that would be a thing in the game. Like what would they come up with in the game to make that interesting? Could be anything. Okay, so we're gonna work on 81.9 done. Angle's 56. More powder does also increase the speed of the round. Boy, yeah. I guess that'd be very good for challenges then. I mean, if you were getting shells onto targets, yeah, I mean, that all adds up. If you're getting there 2 seconds faster, that's 2 seconds faster than the gun comes down, 2 faster seconds you can reload. That all will add up. That's pretty crazy. Could definitely be a good challenge mode thing. Like, I mean, people would be trying to shave off seconds. This wouldn't even be like an artillery simulator anymore. It would absolutely be like a speed run thing where people were trying to find out what ways in the game would be better for them to like how they could shave off an extra second. Every second counts, people. All right, so we're at 522. Okay, then the next one's got to be 44.4. Actually, I think that'd be down there. Oh, wait, 40.44. Okay. Oh, you're right. Time of arrival for a target can be changed this way. That is an interesting... okay, wow, that's a full stop to the stream. Okay, that's interesting because that means what it would allow you to do is have more shells up in the air before they landed. But I don't know if this would be fast. And like modern artillery would take that into account where they would... you know, they're essentially, it's like auto loaders that could put multiple rounds up into the sky. It's crazy, man. They would load, fire like 5-6 shots at suspected enemy artillery positions, and then bring that gun back down, pack up, and roll out, like with a mobile, like a not a mechanized but a motorized artillery piece. Drive 3-4 kilometers down the road, and then do it all over again, or even further, or whatever. And so that way the enemy thinks they're being attacked by... I mean, it changes a lot. Number of enemies you're against or that's firing on you. And then also, if all your stuff blows up at once, there's no warning. If the artillery piece next to you explodes at the same time you do, oops, nothing you can do about that. Wow, that's a cool thing to think about for this game. I don't think you'd be able to do that in this game though. I mean, to bring the gun back down, load it, and roll it back up. I don't know, but it would be interesting to see if there's a way to how they would do that, like how they would make that interesting. Okay, are we ready? 81.9. Okay, and then the next one is 121.4. Wait a minute, there's more infantry there. Oh, is there 3? Oh, they want you to just keep lobbing shots. There's artillery there. That's probably out of range of us. What? Ah, shit. Hold on. This is going to be a problem. Wait, are we getting shot at right now? Prior reconnaissance is not reliable. Okay, shit. Okay. They're firing near us. They're scouting us out, boys. That was unexpected. 990. Hold on, we got to go into big boy work mode now. Hold on. See if we can hit that piece. I hope they don't have more than one. Sounds like they're guessing our position. Yep. That next one's probably not going to miss, though. 85. Are they stream sniping? They might be stream sniping, those guys. They're cheating. 85.5. At 59. $59.40. What did command say while the shell's going out? Additional counter battery assets have commenced arranging forward observers. No actionable fix on hostile battery positions. Assets deployed recently. Prior reconnaissance not reliable. Recon plane requisition card remains active. Star shell ordnance is authorized. Locate and destroy all active artillery before the nest is bracketed. Ah, shit, that didn't do it. That's infantry. Let's do a recon plane. Probably in the back. S1. Try to get a recon plane on them. Nothing in the back. Closer to the front? That's infantry there, so that won't matter. Well, they said previous recon. Maybe we have to recon again? Let's try. Okay, well, maybe October 1 and forward. No. October, I meant hunt for Red October. Wait, what the hell? Okay, so they're not further back. They're not forward. Even further forward? Are they across the river? Let's try Mike 1. We could also use star shells, but we don't have time for that. I don't have time to load all that. What the hell? Where the hell could they be? Kilo 1? They couldn't be that close. Try Q1, that section's outdated. Okay. Q1. Now we're probably down to, oh god, 45 seconds. I need to buy an artillery shell. Bro, I don't see their artillery. Shit, it's right there. It's where the old piece was. I don't know if we're going to make it. 7. Shit, 7. 2, 3. We're bracketed. $93.4. Gun elevation 43. $43.38. Retaliate. They moved artillery back into where they were before. Only 2 guns this time. Secondary counter battery assets destroyed. 1 hostile unit remains across the river. No further threats anticipated. High command is confident. Wow. Wow, we did it. We did it. I can't believe it. That sounded like a lot of artillery fire coming in from what could be one piece, but that could be like a whole... Because we're firing a massive shell, that could have been like, you know, 10 pieces that were in a small area. Alright, now we can calm down and kill the infantry. We'll fire an AP round this time, just for funsies. Okay. So distance is 10 kilometers this time. Wow. 10.86. Oh, that's our first triple shot. Triple shot espresso. So 10.86 kilometers. Yep. Triple shot espresso. Bearing is 84. Did I load that HE? Or AP? I did not. 1, 2, 3. Bearing is 84. Point 0. And then elevation is 43. Pretty close. Standing by. Okay, 43.44. That should do her there, bud. Boom. Damn. Spot on. All hostile assets destroyed. Well executed. Sector is clear. The Iron Nest can nap time. Okay, let's nap time. Look at all the targets we had to destroy. That was crazy. The initial battery, and then they surprised us with another battery. That was crazy, my guy. Crazy. Is that Ocula on the table blast radius template? It is, yep. It used to not be accurate, and so I wouldn't use it, but the devs said they updated it. So it's best to use AP in urban situations when there's close quarters or, you know, bunkers and stuff like that. They don't really tell you that, but HE is good, though, if you get a little wiggle room. Castile's mechanized wonder. Foreign observers stunned by Iron Nest's might, a new era of warfare. The general declares as the world scrambles to respond to the unveiling. General Vile's Iron Nest project is exclusively a preemptive self-defensive measure. And sure is. World Press reacts extraordinary alarming. What exactly is that? The Iron Nest, a shield, not a sword. The general insists. Yeah. So I can fire across the world. Roof gone, work in the sun. Oh, damn. This demo goes on even more? What? That's crazy. Challenge mode or chill mode. Oh, okay. All right, so challenge or chill. So then if we do challenge mode, it'll be like on the clock and then reported like the Steam leaderboards or whatever, or chill mode. Is there a difference to the map? Well, okay, this doesn't really explain where I am. I don't really, not very familiar with the Spanish topography. Let's try chill though, just to see what happens. I wonder if you do challenge. I would hope challenge mode would only start when you first fire your first shot, because having to get out of the bed and stuff to do that's kind of annoying. It should just spawn you right here in front of the computer. Enemy forces have been caught mid-resupply. They're exposed. This will not last. Engage and destroy all hostile elements in the sector in detail. No counter battery threat has been identified. Fire at will. Note, underground supply caches are present in the sector. AP ordnance required for their destruction. Cache destruction yields additional requisition. Iron Nest is at Charlie 8. Reference point. Yeah, we're going to fire at will. I don't know what he did, but he's going to pay for what he did. Is there anything coming in on the secondary? Nope. Alright, well, I gotta get information. And let's wrap that up. Close that door. So it's probably a good idea to do chill mode before the challenge mission high scores. Get a little more practice in. Let's see. We're there. Observation assets. Reference point alpha. Okay, so let's figure out where we're at. Charlie 8 to 1. Okay. Then we got to put our spotters down. So Foxtrot 7. B 8-5. And then Hotel 844. And then Foxtrot 128. Okay, and then what's this reference point Alpha? 83 degrees from spotter 1. That's like a point of interest or something. So 83 degrees. And 11 kilometers from spotter 2. .6. All right. Put a marker on that with green. Okay. Oh, yeah, okay. So Alpha's not a recon squad now, but a point of interest that we can use to zero in. Okay. I think you can bring multiple tokens on the map by putting it on the clipboard first. Oh, really? Oh, thank you. Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. Thank you. Oh, yeah, okay, that's really helpful. Actually, cool. Thank you. Okay, so target 1 is bearing 267 from Alpha. .267, yep. And 049 from spotter 3. Wait. Yeah. What's cool about this mode is we can also like just fire off star shells and see where everything is, and we don't have to do all this if we don't want to. Alright, target 2 is 279. Bearing 279. And then 7.78 kilometers from spotter 1. I love when we get to break out the compass. 7.78, okay. And then target 3. Is that the only information we have from target 3? Oh. Oh, they're referencing the previous... Oh, that's the first time they did that. They're referencing a target in which it's range and bearing and distance from. Oh, that's interesting. So target... Oh, so so your target 2 better be right. Otherwise, target 3 ain't going to be right either. Okay, that's interesting. That's a funny way to do that. So let's do... 7.47. Yep. And then bearing 186. Really? All the way down there? That can't be. Wow. Well, you know, this would probably be a good idea to fire HE because these are kind of approximate. And there's probably civilians everywhere. You know how it goes. Any free shells? Oh, high command wasn't cheap. Excellent. Steven, thanks for the 13 months, dude. Is a Raptor egg. Let's load him. How could a spotter even see that far? Yeah, exactly. What I'd imagine maybe is, let's just say that those are maybe like recon bases or whatever. Let's just say there's a recon team in the field, and they radioed ahead and they were like, "Hey man, there's a dude on our position" or whatever. So then when they radio back to us, they're just saying, "Hey, instead of telling you where our guy is, we'll just tell you where we're at and how far." It's like an extra step. Like, it's just like math with extra steps. It's a real good question. Like, why the hell would they do that? But I guess it makes sense. Because sometimes you're in an area where there's like a ton of civilians and stuff like that. And they kind of sometimes they want you to hit close, and sometimes it adds more gray area to it or whatever. Oh, I didn't even make our numbers yet. Oops, first day. All right, so we'll hit 1, 2, 3. Let's hit 1 and 2 first. Damn, if only we had a third gun. Be cool if they updated this game to allow you to have different artillery pieces. Imagine if this was so successful that they're like, "Hey boys, we're throwing in a third one. We're throwing in an extra gun, free. Yours to keep." All right, we'll just start with the 2. And we'll not fiddle with any of that, but we'll do 11.13 Celsius. And then we'll do 11.12 Celsius. Very little change in the distance, very little change in the elevation, but she'll do. Okay, and then that's 2 powders each. Yep, 3 powders each. Yep. Bearing 80. Wait, 80. Oh, wait, 86. Oh, we're basically facing the right way. 86.5. Oh. This one will be a 44. That's pretty close. And this will be a 44 as well. We gotta wait for that second one. Wow, wow. Okay. So 4452. And then 44. $48. And we got to change the bearing to 80.8 when we're done with the first shot. Uh-oh. Those are fire directors. Wait, are those armored targets? Oh, yep. So that's got to be AP. They're underground. Did it tell us that? Oh, yeah. Underground supply caches are present. Oh, it didn't tell us that that's what the targets were, though. Derp. That's right. They would have been kills, though. But there's still... infantry... What is that? A triangle? What is that? Oh, maybe it's a... fire director again. I don't know. This would probably be the same one in the challenge mode, though. But we hit him. We just didn't destroy him. But there is something there, and then another one down there. Good times. You trying out the global rescue game? Found it on the YouTube. Thanks. I'm enjoying it. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. Very good. Well, I enjoyed this for sure. All right, guys, I'm out of time tonight for Iron Nest, but the demo, very cool. It looks like 3 or 4 preview missions before you get to the chill or challenge mode, and I think a lot of people are going to really like this too. So we'll hopefully play this one whenever it fully releases, or we get early access to what I hope would be the full release whenever it happens. So very great game. Incredible detail, wonderful team, good immersion, very interesting. And hope to see more games like it with the twist. The twist is the more interesting part here, that you're in like a freaking spider, you know, like diesel punk artillery piece. Very, very cool. So, but anyway, yeah, that wraps up the demo. Hope you all enjoyed that. We'll be back tomorrow with more for the Steam Fest, and I got some big new releases coming up on Monday and Tuesday as well that we're going to take first looks at in videos. And then also we'll be doing some more live streams. So if you enjoy enjoyment, make sure you subscribe and follow and subscribe. And we'll be back tomorrow morning for more good stuff. And some new stuff that's come out recently as well. Just very recently. A little old, but there you go. All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching. And we'll see you next time. No, you can't send me coordinates to the mother-in-law's house. No, I don't think this... There's not enough powder charges. I have no idea. I gotta go. You all take care. Have a great rest of your weekend. Bye, everybody.